listening to, watching, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling sex, drugs, and skincare. Like and subscribe. Hey, welcome back to Sex, Drugs, and Skincare. This has been quite a day, don't you think?
It has been.
I'm just, okay. First of all, what we're going to talk about today is gut health and how it affects your skin. So I just want to get that out there.
I have a camera directly pointed at my stomach. Is this some kind of gag? Was this planned?
It does look quite healthy.
It does look healthy, right?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is when I was a kid, it was always like, are you healthy? You know, right? And then there was like kids would like, or teachers would ever hit you in the stomach. Oh, no, you're healthy. And I thought that like being healthy just meant that I was like fat. Uh-huh. So that's when people like, I went to the doctor. No, I'm healthy. And I'm just like this big fat kid. So like, I didn't know like if it meant like, oh no, this guy, they meant it sarcastically. Oh. So like, oh no, you're healthy.
Like he's well fed. Like that.
So I guess being maybe, yeah, if I was super skinny, then it would be like, oh, maybe you're in bad health. Yeah. Poor thing. But that wasn't the case.
You were such a cute fat kid.
White flour was the only thing that lived. White said white flour.
Not white. The other one. Yeah.
That was the only thing that lived in the house was white flour.
Yeah.
So everything was made with white flour.
That's Italian.
Well, yeah, it's also just gluttony.
Gluten-y.
Yeah. Nice.
Gluttony on the bounty.
Gluttony on the bounty. But yeah, so gut health. Okay.
Guest, you're allowed to laugh, by the way. It's okay.
Oh, I'm sitting and
don't stifle, please. Don't stifle.
Particularly gluttony on the bounty.
Oh, yeah.
Or glutton on the bounty.
Yeah.
God, that's
nice.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Oh my God. The guests that we have, I mean, you're going to see it in the title. Obviously, you already know. But if you're not familiar with the title, I'm so excited about the guests we have today.
Me too. I'm very. I don't want to gush because it could be a little
Messy.
Sloppy. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. And I don't have I'm already gushing. Yeah. But you can't see it though.
Yeah.
But it's happening.
Happening.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
I would like to start by saying that I gave him the wrong address.
Yeah, that was.
I wanted to make sure that I got the coolest guest in the world, and then I gave him the wrong information. I also left my phone at home. I prepared so much for this today, and I just.
You weren't answering the phone and going, do I have the right day?
Because
is this a Twilight Zone moment where I'm thinking no? I came out of a building once. There was a building. I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine.
No, there's a building at Westlake Village that looks almost exactly the same. You got the front door, it's a parking lot with the thing, and it's got the back door, it's a parking lot with the thing. And I went in, and I came out the wrong way one day. So where's my car? This looks right.
You went out there.
There's no fire plug. There's a freeway. Yeah, it was like I'd gone into the outer limits or something. Like broken that membrane into another dimension. And then you start thinking, okay, here it comes, dementia. It's okay, it's all right, but it comes, it creeps in like this. Then I go, no, Hendrie, you're on the other side of the building. But it was, why did I bring this up? That's
the thing. Yeah.
I don't even know why I brought it up.
But the confusion is there
because
the confusion about the phone.
I get that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, I made it very difficult. I wanted to make you really work to be on this podcast.
What would have been, I think would have been funny too, is like after you hung up the phone, we should have called you and been like, "Bye, that was great. Thank you so much for coming down. That was a great podcast. Oh my God, you were fantastic."
You just turn around and go back.
Walk into traffic. Yeah, but I mean, that's they say that when things go right, it's better. But when things go askew, there's a little more of a story there.
Sometimes things come out of that are, that are good that you never thought would,
Like sweat.
But most of the time, no. Most of
the time,
it's terrible.
I'd rather it didn't go wrong. It went right.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh my God.
No.
Please, no. You can attack me.
Because the good news is, folks, that I found a great sushi bar. That I parked just right in front of it, and I'm going to take Nikki and I'm going to take Sanjo.
No, we're taking you, but yes.
Well, we're going to have some great sushi. And the waitress there was the one that was so helpful. She's like, there wasn't any business, and she's like, what's the address? Okay, it's not out here. No, I see that's What? Oh, I know, downstairs in the security guard. And she follows out with me, and she's out in the dock. Hey, Jerry, come here, will you? This guy's looking for 846. Don't you have a job you have to go in and do? She was a sweetheart. She was great. So,
oh no, you're 8 blocks away.
Yeah, it's nice to know there are people.
It was a good walk. Yeah, and I was telling Nikki, this is good, man, because I'm trying to burn off some calories and trying to get down to where I was last summer. I was like 215 pounds. And then I started feeling weak, and then the sweat started to pour. Then I began to get worried. Then I began, what if I need a paramedic? I mean, seriously, does anybody here know any CPR?
Nikki's not answering your phone, so there's no
you
help.
weren't answering the phone.
Right, because it was at home.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for a guy who had a big satchel of water, and all you had was the one bottle.
I had the one bottle.
And I didn't recognize you. So.
A satchel of water?
That would have been...
Sandra, you forgot your satchel.
A satchel of water. That's the only time that I would have a satchel of anything is with water.
Water?
Absolutely.
It was like that scene, if you guys remember Lawrence of Arabia. You remember the movie at all? Well, there's the movie where he's coming along on the camel, and there's the guy just walking almost half dead in the desert with water. I'm being really dramatic now.
Yeah. Buzzards overhead.
I don't feel bad at all. I don't feel terrible.
No.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Sweating, I've heard, is good for gut health.
No, but sweating is good for your skin, though.
Gonna...
But I do appreciate the segue back into gut health.
I'm trying to, whatever.
Sweating's good for the skin.
Yeah, absolutely.
I never knew that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good for your whole body, really, to like purge. And your skin is your largest organ, and it pushes out, a lot of stuff.
Poisons
Poisons, and all the garbage comes out of your skin. But it also has to go through your gut. Mm-hmm. And that's really important because a lot of people don't realize how much, don't look at my notes. A lot of people don't realize how much it actually does affect the way that you feel and you look. And I want to talk a little bit more about that and like how sometimes dermatologists will treat it in a way that will actually make it worse.
Oh, interesting. Like, because that has to do with the gut biome, which was a terrible Pauly Shore movie. Biome Dome. It was awful. But Stephen Baldwin was fantastic as always.
As always.
As always. But so that's fascinating because I was wondered, like, and we talked about before, but your dermatologist, her office is filled with bowls of Tootsie Rolls and sugar cookies and Fireball, all this candy that because I always growing up, I knew like the gut, what you ate would come out, resurface on your skin if it wasn't good for you or whatever. So. Yeah.
And I think it's a job security in her case.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yes, feeding. It's like
we did have the sugar episode.
This is so coincidental because my girlfriend is Jackie, and she was talking about this. I swear to God, 2 days ago, because I said to her, "I don't get it, man. I'm eating salads and I'm eating bean burgers, and I'm stalled at 236, even though I'm out humping the beach." She goes, "You should figure out what," and she used that word for the gut.
The biome?
Because your biome is probably different than other people.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, what are you talking about now? Can't we just get, I lost almost 100 pounds just counting calories.
Did you really?
Oh, I was a fat tub of guts. I was horrifying. In fact, I was in a movie called This Is 40. And I play a guy who jumps out of a Mercedes and beats up Paul Rudd.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah, I was a fat tub of, can I say?
Yes, you can say anything you want.
I was a fat tub of doo-doo.
Thank you.
A fat tub of shit.
Yeah.
And then I saw, and I swear to God, Nikki, this is the God's honest truth. I saw a picture and I thought, oh, they manipulated it. They did Photoshop because I looked like a round ball.
This can't be me.
And no, they hadn't done any manipulation. I looked like a round ball, like a tub of shit. Yeah. And oh my God, that day I decided, if I got to count calories, that's what, and I did. I started counting.
That's the only way you can do
2,000 a day is what I put myself on, and I lost 90 pounds.
2,000 calories a day is like what?
Starvation.
Yeah, basically,
right,
it's like a 13-year-old girl would eat 2,000 calories a day.
And it took me from, let's see, it was 2011, about 7 months.
Yeah.
And I got down to that weight, but
wow.
But Jackie was talking about that 2 days ago.
That's so crazy.
And I was scoffing at her because she's always talking about there's good calories and bad calories. What kind are you eating? What do you mean good calories and bad calories? The good calories, you can lose weight. The bad calories, I go olive oil. That's a good calorie. And avocado's a good calorie. But just because you're only doing 2,000 calories a day and it's all potato chips, not good.
But see, that's the thing is I try to get myself, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to have the calories that I would have in the afternoon for a meal. So tonight, sorbet and some chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah,
like that's how
sugar.
the brain would work.
Sure,
but then it's also like that sugar, which, it's I mean, I love that stuff so much.
I go, Oh, 3 pints of that Halo ice cream is 1,000 calories.
It's like worth 3 diarrheas, by the way, too. That stuff is so bad for you.
It's the worst.
Talk about your biome. That destroys your gut. I don't even know what the fuck is in that. I know.
And you're not going to lose weight just because it's 1,000 calories, man. It's going into it like it's 10,000 calories. So,
yeah. You just water weight because you're going to have diarrhea. But you know what? Why don't we switch you guys? So I wanted to leave you to be the one to introduce our guest.
Okay, today. I'll introduce our guest. I first heard this guest when I was working at a pharmacy in Largo, Florida, and came on the. It was a Florida station, but it was through the Premier Radio Networks.
Okay, it was syndicated.
And I first heard him, and I was thoroughly entertained, and then once I realized what was happening, and I almost didn't even want to give it away now. That's how much I don't even want to give it away. Once you find out what's happening and the masterfulness of what he's doing, it's mind-blowing. And then it was just smiles the entire time because it was like people calling in. And it's just fascinating. And I've always had the backstage pass was one of the was one of the intros. Customers. Yeah, man. Awesome. And I had the CDs. Big fan. And I'm going to introduce him now.
Yes.
Because we can talk more, right?
Yes.
Is that okay?
That's what the podcast is for.
Okay, we'll talk some more.
Additional conversations.
Yeah, and so coming to the couch right now. I'm a big fan, and it's really cool to meet him and hang out with him. And I'm not going to ask him all the questions I want to ask, but let's bring to the couch. Welcome, Phil Hendrie.
Oh my God! Yes, Phil Hendrie. You guys, come on.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is so exciting. So continue. We're telling about. He was talking about was it the improv show that you did?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was telling Nikki and Sancho that it's Sancho.
Sandro.
But no. Sancho is fine.
Okay, Tim. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's good. Call me anything, Tim. Call me Tim. I've been called Bill.
Bill Hendrie.
Bill Hendrie. Bill Hendrie is my name.
Not Henry. Henry.
Henry. Henry. Like, I was listening to Bill Hendrie. Why have you done this to your radio station? The Bill Haney show. Who is he again? Phil Hendrie. Bill Haney. It's an abomination before God and man. Forgive me, brother.
You're good, man.
I'm usually really good with names. My father was a salesman. He said a man's name is the sweetest music to his ears.
That's what's in one of those books too.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like when how to win people and blah blah blah.
By Herb Hendrie?
No.
My father's name was Herb. Yeah. So the sweetest music to your ears. I don't think so. No. Although my brother, my dear departed brother Dara, was born in 1943 and was named Herbert Jr. Mm-hmm. And through high school, he was Herbie. And he finally, at some point in his life, he went, man, I can't take it anymore. So he just went by his middle name, which is Dara.
Oh,
a beautiful middle name. And for the rest of his life, that's who he was. But so, yeah, I've been Bill Hendrie. But when I was, as I was saying on stage, I don't do stand-up comedy. I was telling Nikki and Sandro, what you guys do, I admire so much. I did a night, Phil Hendrie and Friends at the Improv in Hollywood. And I would have a lot of comics, and then I would come out and try to do it. And I was like, I just suck on wheels, man.
No, you saw it, didn't you?
I remember. I don't remember when it was, but I remember it was in the lab.
And it was in the little lab. Yeah,
I remember I forgot who was on the show, but I remember I walked in. I didn't even realize.
God, we used to get so many great people. Like, Margaret Cho came up and and God rest his soul, Brody Stevens came in. And I thought he was I always loved him, man. I thought it was funny. But doing jokes I couldn't do. I could go into character and riff and do the funny things that the characters do. So I'm gonna, like I was telling Nikki, I'm gonna start doing more of a live theater presentation. Mm-hmm. And I don't really know how that's gonna roll out, but
who cares? Just do it. You'll make it work.
Just go in character for you go in character for like a half hour? Like I did this, I got a character named Chris Norton, and I'm Chris Norton, and you probably have known Nikki. I know you're resisting it, but you find me very sexy. That women just see my sensuality and my sensuality and my sensuality. The guy's like, so I've got a movie that I hope you invest in. It's called Daffy Dick. It's the daffiest dick in town. I don't know. I need a subtitle. So this dude is riffing on his movies, and this cat was based on a guy that I worked with in Florida. Hi, I'm Tom. And that was the sound of, and he had this lisping thing. I thought, this guy's beautiful. Someday I'll incorporate that into something, but I can't do stand-up. I can't do jokes. So I admire that. I think it's the hardest thing in the world, in the artistic world to do, man.
I think what you do is harder because you've got 45 compartments in your brain of all different characters, and then you're talking from one to the other.
That's true, but it looks scary and weird to people. You guys are funny. I'm weird.
Okay.
So they'll look at this man who's talking to himself and they'll go, yeah, you're right, Belle. He talks to himself real good. Can we leave now? You know? I don't know.
No, it's amazing.
That is like such a different. I also think it's kind of like that, like for somebody to get up and be in a band and to play music and do that. That's something I have never been able to do. So I'm like, man, what's that like to have that? You know, people can listen to what you're doing and see you, and also carry on with what they're doing. That's how powerful. But you know, and then the same thing with like watch John Mayer at the Comedy Store. And he's in the kitchen hanging out with comics because he wants to be a comedian.
Right.
So he sees that other side to it. So I think both of it is like, you know, it's so important to be able to have the scripted part too, I think. But to come off the cuff like that is just,
I love improv,
mind-blowing.
Yeah, I really do. And, you know, if you're doing any kind of TV, or you're working with a television show, and you so want to riff on things, you so want to improv your character, and doing that movie, This Is 40, and it's a very small part, but it's all improvisation.
I was going to ask you if they let you do sort of run with it.
It was fun. It was absolutely fun. Yeah. And but the writer is the writer, and you got to respect him, and God bless him. Glad we got him. You know?
But if they're a good director and a good writer of a good movie, they'll let you just do your thing at the end, or at least give you an opportunity to sort of just kind of run.
That's that commercial, that Liberty Mutual commercial. Can I just riff? I don't know. That's about the last thing directors and writers.
Yeah, no, I meant like a movie. But the Liberty Mutual.
I was doing a commercial for Liberty Mutual. I'd like a riff if I could.
Yeah.
You guys mind if I just go off the cuff?
The client loves it. Just do it. Yeah. So when you did Chris Norton, you said, right?
Yeah,
when you did Chris Norton, which I remember the Ceci, like that's like.
Yeah, that was Cess.
That was like the best.
That came from Tom. I'm Tom, and this is WRJ Orlando. But the Cess thing came from a band called Chairman of the Board, and they did, I forget the big hit they had, but they were on American Bandstand one day, and I must have been in my early 20s, and I heard this guy say, and I got Cess appeal. And that just cracked me up. That cracked me up. So, and I came up in the radio business in Orlando, Florida in the 70s. That at that time in Orlando in the 70s, every dude had a medallion around the neck that went to the navel. The shirt was open. Everybody was Bob Guccione, real scumbags. You know, excuse my language, banging each other's girlfriends and stuff, you know, drinking rum in the middle of the day. Just the fucking worst guy.
I think drinking rum is the most offensive thing.
The other part. Man's got to live, right? So, so that was Chris, you know, and so he was that guy. Yeah, I'm very sassy, and I'm not trying to be egotistical or nothing. But what I loved about him, Sandro, is that women would call, and they couldn't insult him enough. You are the lowest piece of crap that I've ever heard. I know you want me, and you're just saying that. It's just there's nothing they could say, you know. You know what? You are a piece of shit. It was just
were real women calling, or were you yourself?
Real women were calling. We were getting real callers from women saying, you know what, you think you're great? You are vile. You are vulgar. I wouldn't have anything to do with you. I wouldn't sleep with you in a million years. Yeah, because you are deep down sexually attracted to me, so you have to have that kind of...
Sensually.
I'm sensual, and I'm... So, yeah, I incorporated into that character everything that I knew women just were revolted by, you know? And particularly his stupidity. I don't think anything turns a woman off more. And I guess women have different ideas of what stupid is.
Yeah.
Like a dumb woman is going to think what a dumb guy is must be really dumb. But point being, so Chris is all, you know, I have a new animated movie coming out. Animated? Hey, that's real good there, Chris. Yeah, it's called
but it's so confident.
And the dick dies and becomes ghost. Do you think any of this is funny? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's funny. I mean, but it also is kind of sad.
So is that now when he did that, you did that live.
Yeah.
Was it like a certain block of time you had in your mind you were going to do it, or did you have like
I just told that story about how
You
he
told the
wants
story.
to raise money for this movie called Daffy Dick, and then the dick dies and becomes Ghost Penis. That's the sequel.
Ghost
Then I
Penis.
have a Ghost Penis, and Ghost Penis just sort of flies around and goes into another guy's. I mean, I'm sorry, and he's trying to be respectful of the women in the audience. How are you going to do that, man? But I did that whole block for 20 minutes. The audience just loved it, man. And so I wish I could figure out how to stretch that into a half an hour with different characters. And I guess I know how to do it, but because James was great. He says, Phil, he did what a lot of guys do. Phil can't be here tonight, but we have a guy named Chris Norton. Okay. If I could find a way to act out on stage, bring the character on. Well, hi, I'm Phil. And I was talking to a guy and it went like something like this. Like I saw somebody who I love, Julia Sweeney, and I saw her in Aspen. She did her little show, God Said Ha. Have you seen it? It's funnier than hell.
Is that her when she had cancer?
She had cancer,
Yeah.
and her brother had, it was terrible, but she made it funny.
Yeah.
And she went into her mother's voice, and she went into her brother's voice, and she acted out all these characters.
Yeah.
And I thought, I got to figure out how to do that somehow. So
yeah, I like the idea of like having that kind of one man show, quote unquote,
Right.
and then having them through your lens.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like I saw Eric Bogosian at UCLA doing, was it Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll? I think was the name of his show.
Oh, maybe.
He did 3 distinct characters. One was a homeless guy on a subway that I've never seen this. The New Yorkers have experienced the homeless guy going, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bob." You'd have a captive audience on the subway. That must be scary as hell. And I do need a couple of dollars. I just want you to know, oh God. The other one is, I have experienced where you go to a guy's house to buy drugs and you want to get the hell out of there. And the dude wants to show you his sword collection.
Oh,
yeah. You guys see my sword collection? Hold on. Sit down, man. You got to see this. And you're like, oh, fuck, I just want to get out of here, please. And then the third character he did was some dude at his barbecue cooking up steaks. And the guy's a total right-wing Nazi, a white supremacist.
Yeah.
It was a brilliantly funny show. It was 3 distinct acts in character. I thought that was fantastic. So I believe, radio is going like this, man, right now. It's a sad thing to see.
But there's podcasts, though.
Podcasting is fantastic. But I think my future is probably also podcasting as well as doing live performing. Because I don't know, man, at my age, how many more television show, how many gigs are you going to get as an actor, especially the way the business is going now,
Well, there's AIU at this point.
Oh, my God,
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys, this is a great story. Last night, I get an email from YouTube. Your YouTube channel has been taken down. Why? I was completely irate. I started writing my attorney. They screwed up that we had set out some takedowns, and they took the stuff down, and they blamed me, and they told me, basically what they said is, a guy named Phil Hendrie, okay, you violated his copyright, so we're taking your channel down. I'm Phil Hendrie. Yeah. So I talked to my attorney today, great guy, Robert Collins. He said, Phil, what's going on is things are glitchy. We're sending takedowns to YouTube, as we do, if you have a copyright, but they're using people and AI. And the two are getting glitchy as they try to combine their efforts. And I thought, well, dude, it ain't going good. Whatever it is.
Oh, man, that's wild.
Yeah.
Are you back up?
We will be.
Okay.
But I had to do an entire retraction. Like I had to say, yes, I do retract sending out takedowns to myself. What the hell is that about, man? How does that happen?
We got to keep yourself in check. You just don't know where it's coming from. Yeah.
You know what? Would you please take that down? I know I did it and I own it, but I don't like it.
It's too much like me.
Very weird.
Dude, that is crazy.
YouTube, crazy. Yeah, and YouTube, God, can they make more money? Everybody is a content creator for them.
Yeah. Everybody. Yeah.
What's the most amount of characters you've done in like one set or
in one show?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, probably 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Well, counting like I just did a podcast for today. I did myself, Margaret Gray, General Shaw, Bud Dickman. Then I had I had 2 characters, Doctors Baboon and Raccoon from the Hugo Institute in New York, and then I had Dr. Ed Elcott. So 6.
That's
I
a
did
lot.
6 in the show today. Yeah. And Dr. Elcott was in a tub having his underwear scrubbed out by one of the novitiates in his religion. And so he said, "Have you scrubbed out those bacon strips?" Uh-huh. So I guess that's 7.
7?
That would be 7, yeah. I don't know, man. I laugh, and I keep the laughs in now. And I
How
said,
do you not laugh out loud?
yeah, and I just keep them in.
Yeah.
And,
I see what you're saying. You keep them in.
I
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
them
Not
in,
you keep
yeah.
them in your body. You keep them in the thing. Yeah.
And somebody said to me, you know, do you when did it change for you? Because I got inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame this year. I never thought that would happen. Are you kidding me? And I said that. I said,
of course it would happen.
Oh no, I didn't think so. I thought I was too countercultural. I thought they were, I thought they hated my guts,
No.
But I said, when I stopped giving a shit what people thought, and I think Nikki and Sandra, you guys know, when you're just making yourself laugh, you're onto something.
Yeah.
Man. So I that's what happened for me. I stopped caring what people thought. Because I had an acting teacher who just passed on, Daryl Hickman, who used to say, "Guys, speak your truth." Well, what if you can't get hired? At least you spoke your truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take that, man.
It's true. Yeah, you got to be authentic to yourself.
You have to.
Or yourselves, in your case.
Your multiple selves.
Multiple selves. Yes.
God, this is heavy. We haven't even talked about skincare or anything.
Well, let's get to that for a second.
Health.
You were talking about how your girlfriend, Jackie, was talking about biomes, right?
Absolutely. 2 days ago. It's weird. I have to tell her this when I get home. Yeah.
So what was she saying to you?
She was saying to me, basically, I was saying, I cannot lose any weight. It's pissing me off because I want to get down below 220. And she knows we have this battle. I count calories. She thinks that's worthless. Count the good calories. There's good calories. There's good fat. Okay,
it's just more work.
Yeah. And now she's on to the biomes thing. She goes, you should check out your gut health. What are your biomes? Because things are going into your stomach differently than other people. And I'm going, what? What now? What are you telling me now? But it's so coincidental that we sat down and you guys were talking about that.
I don't know why, but I was like, what am I going to do when Phil Hendrie comes? Sorry,
let's
Phil
talk
Hendrie.
about gut health.
Yeah, let's talk about gut health. Yeah, I don't know. It just felt right. But and it's something that's talked about more now. I think probably around 2016 is when people started to actually throw that word around, the biome.
Yeah. I also feel that everything that you want to talk about on this podcast in some way is indirectly directed towards me.
Absolutely. Everything on every episode is passive aggressively talking to him.
and because you have said that, a lot of the good moods and the good feelings start in the gut.
That's right.
So, and I would typically eat very, very shittily.
Yeah. And you make endorphins and things like that. And then those kind of hormones in your gut. Were you aware of that?
I did not know. Well, endorphins? No, I didn't know that. I thought endorphins came out when you run or jog and lift weights.
They do.
Stuff.
But I think they're also
in the
I think they're also
I had
produced
no
in the
idea.
stomach. I don't know where else they are, but I know that good feelings a lot of times will come from you. It's like when you feel nauseous, you can't be in a good mood when you're nauseous.
No.
Right?
That's the worst feeling in the world. Nausea.
It really is.
It's not pain, but it's definitely inconvenient and it's debilitating. It's like ugh.
It just changes the whole way you look at life.
Yeah.
Just like hemorrhoids.
You can't.
It changes your whole outlook on life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know why I brought that up, but
well, it's your truth.
It is my truth. I spoke my truth.
You spoke your truth.
Yeah. This will be our last episode. So thank you.
Truth.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Spoke your truth. Yeah.
Good food, man, makes you feel great.
Yeah, good food, real good food,
really good food,
absolutely healthy food.
I make this crazy salad. I take those bags, those chopped. The bags of salad, chopped kale, chopped this.
Yeah.
I take 4 of them. I buy 4 of them.
4 bags.
I put 2 of them into a bowl and I chop up an avocado. I use balsamic vinegar and olive oil, garlic powder, Mrs. Dash, because I have hypertension. And it's the greatest thing for me in the world to eat. Sit and watch documentaries on YouTube about the hanging of Nazi war criminals and shit, and eating. It's just phenomenal. Yeah, it's just phenomenal. And my cat there going, "You eat meat, Jack. You don't eat salad." No, she doesn't believe it until she smells it. And fuck it.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
Did you say your cat?
I have a cat. Her name is Thunder.
Aww.
And Thunder, we had a dog, but my ex got the dog,
Okay.
and so Thunder's there, and she, there were a lot of animals around for a while, and then now Thunder's all by herself, so it's just me and Thunder. And she's called Thunder because when we got her, she was just a little ball of fluff.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, what's the opposite of that? Thunder. Yeah. But she'll look and she wants to eat what you're eating until she realizes it's vegetable stuff. And my cat, forget it. Yeah. Although I did find out one thing about cats. I used to think that cats only ate meat. They do not eat grains. Don't give a cat grains. Give grains to a dog, not. Now grains, I find out cats should have some grains. They should have some vegetable material. There's a little gut health for cats.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Our
Mine
cats
go nuts for
the broccoli.
The broccoli.
They play with broccoli.
Yeah.
That's right.
Do they really like to?
They love to play with the broccoli. I don't think they eat it.
But then I'll get like the
grass.
Yeah, the grass. Yeah.
Oh,
cats,
they love
cats
the grass.
love to eat the grass, and that's for their gut health.
That's for their gut health. Yeah, it usually makes them vomit.
That's right.
You know, because it's purging.
That's true.
And that's what they do when they go outside. Is they would, you know, when I had an indoor cat, that I would let her outside. She'd go down and eat the grass. She'd come back up and vomit up in the house.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you.
Exactly how it's supposed to go. Yeah.
You know the drill. Get up, vomit back in here.
So yes, so gut health is very important for so many different things. And there's a lot of things going on there that you have to keep balanced in order for things to work properly and not affect your skin. Alex, will you just scroll up a little for me? Or actually, just go to the whole page there. So there's a lot of things in your gut that you where is it?
Microorganisms.
Yeah, we got microorganisms. Where am I looking here? Intestinal flora.
It's the worst kind of flowers.
There's actually viruses, fungi, protozoa. But if it's out of balance, then your body looks at it as it's something it needs to protect itself from. And so a lot of times when things are interrupted like that, if you eat, not eat, but you're sitting around and eat antibiotics, but maybe that's your problem.
Yeah.
But
you have a meal of antibiotics, for instance, which you do here.
They offered me tetracycline when I came by, and I don't know.
It's a good sandwich.
Yeah, a tetracycline sandwich, yeah. But that will throw, so when you go to the dermatologist, which is kind of what I was referring to earlier, a lot of people will have acne or different things on their face you can get from being out of balance. Like you can have, let's see, here, I have pictures of things that you can show.
Oh, these would be fun pictures.
Yeah, these are fun. Okay, so psoriasis and eczema. So those are, those are both caused, those are autoimmune. All of these are autoimmune.
When your autoimmune system's off, man, you will get psoriasis. You
right,
eczema.
And that is a lot of times from were you looking at your watch or your skin?
I was looking at my skin because I get subcutaneous. So anyway. The microphone's here. Yeah.
It's the first time.
Yeah. Sorry. Bruising.
Oh.
Because of blood thinner.
Right.
That occasionally I take meds. It's a long story, but sometimes I do get that. That's what I was looking at. It has nothing really to do with what you're talking about. It is something I can probably improve with my diet and with better meds and stuff. But
yeah, better meds. Are you like on warfarin or something like that?
Wellbutrin.
I'm on Wellbutrin too.
Okay, good girl. Yeah, man. Yeah. See, well, you did that, and I went. That's because we're on Wellbutrin.
Yeah.
Also, I had hypertension. All of a sudden, I found out I had hypertension, and that's a drag. That's high blood pressure. So
Wellbutrin can actually exacerbate high blood pressure.
Well, here's the thing. I was taking because that's all for like weight loss too, and I was taking. For a while there, my doctor had me on Adderall, which was like, and I'm telling you, man, I can't, if everybody knew that I had it, they were like, you make like 125 milligram. Could I have one? So that was bad for the blood pressure.
Yeah.
Phentermine, very bad.
I don't know what that.
Phentermine is also kind of a
like an amphetamine.
An appetite suppressant.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
But then the doctor said, well, let's put you on bupropion, which is Wellbutrin.
Yeah.
And that is okay.
It
works for me. But I also take like Amil or amlodipine and rosuvastatin. Do you guys know these drugs?
My mom takes a rosuvastatin.
Rosuvastatin, I take that.
Amlodipine.
That's for blood pressure?
And midazolam. I take a midazolam,
Okay,
for blood pressure, yeah. I mean, it's a bummer, but if I got to have something wrong with me, I guess that's better than, like, I've lost all feeling in the leg, but you know something, I can still get around good. I do. Yeah. I play golf. Yeah, sure.
I don't feel bad at all about making you walk 14 blocks here and knowing now that you have high blood pressure.
Oh no, I was fine. I was totally fine. Yeah. And, no, I was,
in the middle of summer.
Staggering along and people like, sir, can we call anyone? Oh, you're fine. It's okay. I had a good life.
He kept saying sushi as he was dying.
Yeah. Right.
He was probably thirsty. He needed some sushi.
Oh my God.
But so I had all of that, and I went on high blood pressure. So that's when I started looking at diet. And first of all, the DASH diet. The DASH diet is a hypertension diet, but it's really all kinds of groovy shit. Like, I didn't know that dark chocolate is good for you. Okay. Semi-sweet chocolate. Yeah. Semi-sweet chocolate is actually a low sodium, great.
It's good for your blood pressure too?
Yeah. Interesting. It's like low sodium. Just things I never knew. And I think I'm off topic though of eczema.
That's fine.
Skin problem,
That's fine.
And then I broke out in a rash. No, that was it.
That was topical. It's all topical, so we're fine.
Yeah. Nice, yes.
No, I didn't break out in a rash, but I probably should have because the diet was so different from what I was eating. But and so I don't know. I just started going to the doctor regularly. That was it because my girlfriend Jackie, it started to insist. She said, "Do you have an annual physical?" Not really. Well, you're going to start. What, are you crazy? And so I went, and fortunately, I'm in pretty good health except for that. So
you seem like you're in good health.
I am. I was going to mention Viagra, but I probably shouldn't.
No, you absolutely should.
No, I can't use it.
Sex, drugs, and skincare
because of the blood
pressure. Right? Okay.
No, yes, I can. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Although I don't need it. The whole thing.
Who does?
And So I'm walking is not really a hard thing for me to do. I do it all the time. I do it on the beach. I live about a block from the sand. And I like to walk on the beach. I take that back. I hate walking on the beach. No one can like walking on the beach. No one can like it. Yes, the beautiful ocean. I get it. But you're walking through the deep sand. Right. It's a really hard thing to do.
But you go barefoot or do you?
I go barefoot, bro. And it's a hard workout. It really is. And I go down to the jetty and turn around and come back. And that is, for me, the best kind of cardiovascular exercise I can do.
It's also good for your brain too. First of all, you're grounding your feet into the ground. You're also getting like all the negative ions from like the water and like just and just being around water is really good for your just being around water in general too is just good for your well-being and your.
It is for me, man. I can tell you that.
I feel that way too. Whenever we go, I'm definitely. Like, we're made out of crystals, a lot of crystals in our body.
People?
Yeah, people are. And so that's how you cleanse a crystal is you put it in salt water.
She's lying to me.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. I believe you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what I do
it's not funny, but it's awesome.
No. It's totally awesome. I love that. I mean, the ocean's always been mother to me. When I see the ocean, I see there's mom. Everything came out of there, and we're all just still wanting to go back and splash around in her.
Yeah.
But I walk along in the sand and I get ideas for comedy bits, and this one character, I don't have a name for him anymore, says, this is near my house. And it's not like the dirt that we're on. It's something else. Okay. But look out there. See that line? That's where the world ends. I was thinking of like some psycho, Mr. Wizard guy, and there's nothing beyond that. We don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Why did you say Mr. Wizard? Today I saw something online about Mr. Wizard and I hadn't seen anything about Mr. Wizard in...
Wasn't he the guy who did all the experiments with kids or was that...
and then he would kind of like basically like make them feel like shit like when they were wrong.
Yeah. He make them feel like shit when they were wrong? No, you ass. You don't put that in there.
You stupid idiot.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I just was watching that. I think it was today. I don't know why it even came on.
Wow,
something about Mr. This room, by the way, when we're in it, things tend to sync up. So that's how we know we're doing the right thing.
What do you mean sync up?
Like everything just like this, everything becomes in sync in here.
Oh, cool.
Every time anybody's come in here as a guest, we've gotten on each other, same cycle, same menstruation cycles. You got the same periods. So when you leave here, just don't be surprised if in 28 days from now
I'm pregnant. Mr. Wizard. There's nothing like him on TV now, is there? And he had the kids come in. Of course, people so sick today. I wouldn't let my kid go in that house. Okay? But he was cool, man. He like showed you how fire was made and how water is made and how this and that and everything else. The other Mr. Wizard was on Rocky and Bullwinkle. Help me, Mr. Wizard. Remember the turtle? What the hell was the name of that? The turtle wanted to have a better life, so he'd go to the wizard, which was a lizard. He lived in a tree and he had on a sorcerer's hat. Oh, you didn't remember this? This is a Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I remember I don't remember this part.
This is a part of their show, and so I forget the tortoise's name. He wants a better life. You know what, Mr. Wizard? I want to see Paris. He's a turtle, you know. All right, you know, if you want to drizzle, drazzle, drazzle, he'd be in Paris, and he'd get into some hassle. He'd get run over by a truck, and his last words would be, "Help me, Mr. Wizard, help." And he goes, "Oh, well, drizzle, drazzle, drazzle, drawn. Time for this one to come home." And he'd bring him out of his nightmare, you know. And the whole moral of the story was, be happy with the life you have. If you dream too big, you know, you're going to be off into terrible things, you know. Wow.
You don't want to dream too big. Keep your life as small as possible, kids. Well, don't think outside of the box.
The tortoise, he just wanted to see the world and see all kinds of crazy things, but he was always biting off more than he could chew, I guess. Was the moral of the story. And the lizard was Mr. Wizard. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was Rocky and Bullwinkle, and that was which I had a character based on Rocky. I can't do it anymore. People love this character named R.C. Collins. And I can't do it anymore, but I got it way up there. You know, you can tell he was based on these kids. He was based on these kids that I knew when I was growing up. The kid was always like 4 or 5 years younger than you. Hey, Henry, what are you guys going to do today? We're going to play baseball. Yeah. I bet you can't hit the broadside of a barn. Why don't you F off? Go home, punk. Yeah. You and what army? You going to beat me up? You know, and you think of this little 8-year-old punk. All you want to do is pick him up and throw him off a cliff, but you can't. So he was based on these little twerpy punks that we know. And he'd talk all this smack about stuff, you know, and everything. Have you got a girlfriend? Yeah. Yeah. I bet you let her talk to me, man. She'd see a real man. Yeah, sure. Sure, dork, you know. So that was based on Rocky the Squirrel.
I love that.
But back when I was on the air and I can still hit there, but you have to work your voice, man. It's like a muscle, you know. And if I practice that voice every day, I could probably get it up there again.
Yeah.
But
that's wild.
I haven't in a long time, you know. And I was a smoker, and I smoked cigarettes up until 2009.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and I went into the hospital with double pneumonia and swine flu. You guys remember the swine flu?
I remember, but I don't. What does it do to you?
What happened to me was I knew that swine flu was around, and suddenly one night I'm laying in bed. I know I'm getting the flu, but when I coughed, it felt like it was being stabbed with a million knitting needles. And I'm like, God damn, this is a bad cough you got, Phil. 2-3 days in, I'm starting to pass out as I'm going upstairs, you know. Shit. So I called my doctor. He said, meet me at the office. We got there. He said, you got to go to the hospital, Jack. You're sick. So I went over to St. John's over there near where I live in Ventura County. And I was in there for a week, and they had me on respiratory therapy, and they had the cardiovascular. And I'm not trying to say anything here, but it was gratifying. Half of these cats used to listen to me when they were taking their tests, you know, like the respiratory therapist going, man, the cardiovascular guy, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, all these people are working so hard to save my life, basically, that when I got out of there was never any question. I wasn't going to smoke another cigarette again as long as I lived. And I miss it occasionally, but I think back on being in that hospital and hearing that alarm go off because I'm not getting enough oxygen in my blood.
That's
you know,
fucking scary.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. So I just gave up the cigs, and I don't miss it. You know, I don't. Yeah. Occasionally I go, wouldn't it be cool to have a cigarette? Not really. You know,
it is for like 1 second. You light it, and you're like, ugh, why did I do that? Now I'm more anxious.
Yeah.
I did it up until like a year ago.
Alex says yes too. Yeah, I know. I guilted him into not smoking anymore.
And then I started also
3
taking.
years? Alex is saying he quit 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Right. Oh, you smoked for 3 years straight? What a pussy. No, I started when I was 13.
Yeah, I was 14.
Yeah, no, I think I was actually 15. And then I think I stopped at 22, and then I quit again. Yeah, and then I started, 2 years off, 2 years on. And then, and then I finally, I don't know when. I did smoke a lot though, like a pack of Marlboro Reds, like every day.
Man.
I was a telemarketer.
The night I got sick, I was doing a Christmas Carol with all of my characters, and I was puffing. I was probably up to 3 packs a day.
Wow.
And then I thought, well, this will be great because I'm taking the next week off because it's Christmas. Well, the next week was hell on earth, man.
Oh, shit.
Oh
I went in the hospital. I came out of the hospital the second day of January. So I was in there through the whole.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
sucked,
wow.
but-
I'm glad you quit.
Yeah, me too. And I'd never been in a hospital in my life,
Mm.
you know.
And you're
And
there for that like 2 weeks.
And you're like, I did
I was
this
there
to
for a
me.
week and a half, and,
Yeah.
I'm laying there. And they have single occupancy rooms at this hospital. So I'm thinking, pretty good. No, not really.
Yeah.
But
the
the nurses moved me. You know, I had a real nice high floor room, and they're like, no, this guy is too sick. So they moved me down to the nurses station floor.
Oh, wow.
So right outside my room, I can hear, who wants lunch? Okay. attention, ladies. We're taking lunch orders. The fuck? You know. Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
and then one night I saw looked like two of the most beautiful blonde-haired angels came floating into my room and rolled me over and x-rayed my chest, and then they just floated out. And I wasn't hallucinating with the x-ray technicians from downstairs who were told, go up and x-ray that guy's lungs.
Oh, wow.
But in my delirium,
Yeah.
they were like, you know? I was a sick mother, I'm telling
Wow.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's gotta. But good drugs at least. And then you remember,
you. Dude, I don't
remember
remember any really good drugs. No,
Yeah.
it was all just
just the angels.
the angels came
Man.
floating in on me, man. And, you know, and getting up any movement caused a hacking and coughing. I went out when I got home, I went down to the beach and tried to walk. Well, I'll try and walk. I got 20 yards, man. I couldn't do it.
Your lungs were inflamed.
Yeah. Bad.
Yeah. Inflammation's not good.
Yeah. This stuff you take for granted. Like even when I would smoke cigarettes, I would just, and then after I'm done, I would put it out, and then I go, I'm fine. Like that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can do that, and then just take for granted that you walk up the stairs, and I'm like, oh man, this shouldn't be like this.
Mm-mm.
And I consider myself lucky, man, because at least it was pneumonia, and it wasn't like throat cancer or some
Thank
shit.
God.
You know? Yeah, man.
Yes.
So that's what knocked me away from
It was a warning sign. It was like
it was like Hendrie quit.
Yeah.
You know. I also, when I was in the hospital, I said, well, you had swine flu. It morphed into pneumonia, but we also want to see if you have valley fever. I go, what the hell is valley fever? This is a spore from the San Joaquin Valley that gets into the lungs and has infected some people. So one night into my room comes this doctor, Dr. Omega Smith, holding with the gloved hands like this and masking. Mr. Hendrie, I'm Dr. Smith. How are you? I'm a bacteriologist. Now we'd like to send a specimen of your spumum or whatever the hell up to UC Davis. What for, sir? To check for valley fever. I believe you have it. So they did, and I didn't have.
You didn't have
valley fever, no, but that sounded pretty freaky too.
Yeah,
Well,
valley fever.
Just sounds like somebody who's dying to go back to Van Nuys.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I've got valley fever.
I'm literally dying. Yeah.
And I got the fever. Yeah,
Get the fever.
I got the fever for the valley fever. That is awesome.
It does sound like a Carl's Jr. promotion.
Oh my God.
Like that's. Oh my God, that's wild.
That's only something people from LA would have, though. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
I've been out of the valley too long.
I came. I'm from the valley, so. All right, let's go back just for a second. I want to talk about more inflammatory
Speaking
diseases.
of inflammatory diseases,
yeah.
What else is going on?
All right, so we got psoriasis and eczema,
Okay.
vitiligo, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now,
Vitiligo,
this is actually like a very new thing that people are using the models with vitiligo.
Yeah.
And that's what Michael Jackson had.
He did. You're right.
So I don't know what causes it necessarily, but it can be caused from the gut being off.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's another one. And then obviously acne.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another
Not to be
acne?
confused with Acme. That was
Best of something.
From the cartoons, yeah.
Yeah.
But so like undigested food will go through your system. There's something called leaky gut because your
I've heard of
intestine,
that.
because you have a weakened intestinal wall, and then the food passes through it, and your body goes, nope, that is a foreign substance. We're going to attack that, and so it comes out in all of those ways. And it can also come out in brain fog. It can come out. I mean, there's a lot of ways that gut health be having gut health will affect your body. But in terms of the skin, since this is sex, drugs, and skincare, those are some of the things that you can get from not having
good gut health.
Good gut health.
Yeah.
Now, here's what happens though: is sometimes the dermatologists, I find, like Sandra was saying, they'll put like the sugar out. They're only thinking about treating symptoms. And if you're a dermatologist, I think what you do is fantastic, but they look more at just getting rid of the symptoms and not at where it's coming from. Yeah. And so they'll give you an antibiotic when you have that kind of acne because it will kill the bacteria.
Yeah.
Not realizing that it's killing all the bacteria in here.
Right.
Right. And then it's going to come back twice as hard.
That's what I've heard about antibiotics, that it
they
destroys the natural fungi in the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. So the things that you can do are actually, let me take this nasty thing off and then we'll talk about things that you can actually do. Will you yes, let's see. Okay, so there's some things that you can do. Oh, prebiotics.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about prebiotics?
I don't.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you know about prebiotics?
I know probiotics. I don't know what the prebiotics.
Yeah.
Okay, so prebiotics is usually something that's fermented that you eat, and it supposedly acts as a primary carbon source, but basically it helps the beneficial bacteria to grow, right? So the probiotic is the beneficial bacteria, such as like bifidobacteria, lactobacilli. But there's, let's see, you can find spirulina, pectin, which is found in apples, is a really good one.
Yeah.
I looked up what rhamnose was, and it's some sort of a sugar that comes from like I forget, with some bush.
Buckthorn.
Well, that's what it was. Oh, that is my note. Okay,
Oh,
yeah, from the common buckthorn. And a lot of these things naturally exist in a lot of our foods, which is asparagus, sugar, beets, not sugar beets, garlic, chicory is a great one. Onions, Jerusalem artichokes, wheat, which is, I thought, ironic. Honey, apparently, barley, tomatoes, rye, soybean, human and cow's milk, peas, beans, etc. And seaweeds.
Oh, I don't know why you didn't say that.
See?
I knew it.
Yeah, because it's on my notes.
Oh.
Yeah, seaweed. Right. So when you put some of that stuff in first, it does help to keep the inflammatory responses down, and so it does play a very essential role in keeping the gut biome in balance.
So can you take too much of the prebiotic or like anything like that, or probiotic actually, I think I'm jumping.
You
biotics.
Actually can do. I know.
Take too much?
I think with probiotics, especially. Well, okay. So if you're eating a lot of prebiotics, a lot of times it has to do. There's a lot of fiber sometimes in them, or like what they were saying, like fermentation, and that can probably give you a little bit of a stomach ache.
Okay, gotcha.
But probiotics too, the really good ones, you start off small, because if you go in with too much probiotic too fast, you can kill off too much candida and things like that, which we've had an episode on, and that will give you die-off, and that will make you really sick.
This is a lot of stuff to remember,
I know.
I mean,
well, you'll have to just keep the episode open in your browser.
Because if I want to have the perfect diet, I want to have my probiotics, I want to have my prebiotics.
Yeah. Well, that's not too hard.
But in right amounts too.
You start slow and then you build up. And so
what are postbiotics?
I don't know. Okay. I don't have an answer for that. But probiotics are usually found naturally in real yogurt. And when you look at yogurt, if it has cornstarch in it, it's probably not been fermented long enough to make it that thick. So you go for something that doesn't have cornstarch in it, because otherwise it's not real yogurt.
Cool.
Kefir, which I made my own kefir for a while.
Nikki has made her own kefir, just like she makes her own Gatorade now. She made her own kefir.
I do, yeah. I gave myself diarrhea, but I do make it, and I still drink it.
Trial and error.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I see you in front of some laboratory thing. The Gatorade is ready. Excuse me for a minute. Light goes on in the bathroom.
Too much salt will actually make you do the opposite. But sauerkraut, because it's also probiotic, it's fermented. Yeah, kombucha, pickles, sourdough bread is good.
Everything that's fermented.
Those are natural probiotics.
I love all those foods.
Right, and those are really good. And it will keep. I'm not going to list all the different things that it's going to. The most common ones probably is like lactobacillus, which is from like milk products. I think.
Okay.
I think like probably the yogurt and things like that.
I've seen that right there. Bifidobacterium. That was Biff Tannen's real name in Back to the Future.
That's right. Yes, that's correct.
Bifidobacteria.
It was Irish.
The Irish people.
Yeah. So if you're imbalanced in all of those things, those are two things that you can do to correct some of those imbalances. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. So
what's all these maladies, streptococcus?
So those are the bad ones that can live inside your system. Streptococcus is strep.
Oh, the strep throat. Yeah, okay,
Yeah, enterococcus.
I have a professional acquaintance, a great guy, Mark Wollengren, used to do on the Mark and Kim show on Coast.
Sounds familiar.
Mark went to New Mexico to see the eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
And this poor man somehow contracted MSSA, a frighteningly horrible staph infection. Went all through his system.
No.
And Mark, if you're watching, I hope
not MRSA.
MSSA.
Okay, because there's MRSA too.
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right.
So in fact, the famous Jackie was telling me about that one. I said, no, this is different.
Whoa.
And Mark went through living hell. I mean, he's on Instagram. And good Lord, he's got such a great attitude about it. But it marked up his legs. He had abscesses up against his pelvis, his pelvic bone. Horrible. What? Horrible, man.
You can become septic, right?
It was completely a septic invasion of his body.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell it happened, I have no idea. I asked him, and I don't think he responded because he went, "That's Hendrie." But anyway, folks, no.
He'll call back.
He's a sweetheart. He's a very nice man, and I couldn't believe this thing. And I'm looking at pictures of him, how he's alive.
You can die very easily from those things.
I can't believe the cat's still alive.
Is that something like that that's in your system dormant? That can be.
This is what I was thinking when I was looking at these, man. Yeah.
Possibly. And then when things are out of balance, it's not being kept at bay.
Yeah.
But you can, like with MRSA, which is similar to what you're saying. Right. I'm going to look more into the MSSA.
MSSA, yeah.
But you get it from you can touch things and just get it. But your immune system has to be off in order for your body to go, all right, we're going to take this on.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Because you're not just, because it's everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen people with staph infections, if it gets in the body and it takes off, it's because your body is just not able to fight something.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's, and I don't want to tell your story, Mark, because you know better than me, but what happened to his physiology or whatever you would call that?
Yeah.
That all of a sudden this thing just took off like a rocket, and he has scarred up legs.
Oh my God.
Because of the abscesses. And, but he's like, I'll be good. The doctor says I'll be up and running. I'll be up and good about, let's say 4 years from now.
Oh my God.
No, he did actually say this.
Really?
He did say, I'll be fine in 4 weeks. The doctor says the scars will go away in about 2 years. So, and like, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good attitude.
That's a really good attitude.
He's a great
Well, he could have died, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a client who came to me. She had MRSA. We didn't know. We thought it was a pimple because it looks very similar. So we were just doing like her normal extractions, but this thing would not go away. It looks exactly like a pimple with a whitehead. So she had it on her forehead. I don't know how much other places in her body she had it, but I didn't hear from her for months. And I was like, Gladys, where the hell are you?
Yeah.
She's like, I'm in the hospital. I almost died because I had MRSA. And she thinks she got it because she would travel a lot, like at the airports and things like that. You touch things, or like in Vegas.
Just touching stuff. That's kind of scary, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it must have seriously depleted immune system, don't you
think?
think?
I would think, yeah.
Because I've been touching stuff my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Some things more than others.
Yeah.
I've been touching things my whole life.
I ain't got sick yet.
It's going in the teaser. Going in the teaser.
Although mentally,
yeah. Well, it's got to improve your immune system by touching all this stuff and
that's true.
Kind of a licking doorknobs kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Well, not really, but I mean, like that kind of thing where the more you're in contact with, but again, like if you have an opening and your body's like in a heat of in a extreme stress, or like you're
traveling puts a lot of stress on you too.
You're not sleeping well. You're eating, Twinkies, which I've done all that stuff, and that's when I've been like in the worst health. Then I get sick.
Yeah.
Any little thing, man, will trigger it.
Yeah.
Boom, you're sick. Yeah. I think that's what happened to me when I got swine flu. I was smoking 3 packs a day. I was overweight by 60 pounds. I was in rotten shape.
Your body couldn't have fought that. Couldn't have fought that away.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you are.
But everything we do is like just trying to make ourselves feel good in that moment. So we don't. At least that's the way. Like I don't see past that moment where I'm like, I like the cigarette, and I like, then I'm like, oh, I'll have a piece of ice cream.
A piece of ice cream?
Well,
you get your ice cream in pieces? Oh, okay.
A piece of cigarette, a slice of ice cream.
A slice of a cigarette.
but it's all, and then it's like, oh, I feel like shit. And then it's like, yeah, but I want to do the things that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you actually get mad about it.
And then I'll get mad about it. I'm like, I'm coughing and I have like the flu and I'm like, I just want to have a cigarette. Why can't I have a cigarette? Or why can't I smoke a joint? And Nikki's like, just wait till afterwards. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand America.
I saw the actor who was in Ghostbusters. There was Aykroyd, there was Murray. Oh, God.
Oh, Rick Moranis? Was he in it?
No, the third Ghostbuster actor, the third guy. With
Daniel Stern? No.
Wait.
Who the hell was in Ghostbusters?
Aykroyd. What's his name?
He's in his late 70s. He's in phenomenal shape. I can't remember. Ernie Hudson.
Yes, Ernie Hudson.
Oh,
yes.
I would never have
Hudson,
guessed that.
Good God Almighty, he's ripped. He's strong. He looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Dave's smiling. There's just he wasn't necessarily. I think it was just a shot from a set someplace. Because you get to a certain age, you think, okay, I can stay alive for a long time. I can have a good life, but look good. No, this dude looked great. I mean, I'm telling you, he had guns, everything. So.
He's working out, I'm assuming.
I guess so, man.
I feel like it's that when you see guys like in that good a shape, like it almost feels like they have to just have continued to do it or bought into it the whole way up.
I think you're right.
Because I mean, like that's just he's in great shape.
Yeah,
he's just fantastic.
But you do have to kind of make a life's work of it.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
Yeah, Nikki, are we bothering you?
No, I'm texting Alex because the clock went off, and I don't know how long.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for bringing everybody's attention to that. I was like, I'm going to let them talk.
Nikki's playing Homescapes on Apple, and
I'm playing Homesticks.
Homescapes.
Oh, Homescapes.
Oh, haven't you played Homescapes?
What is that?
It's an asinine game where a butler and his family are building a house, and you help them build their house, and then he's a butler, but keep this in mind. But he's got this 3-story mansion. Then they buy a house across the lake and they build that one up. And now I think after you go there, then there's another one. There's a fortress someplace that you can build.
Whoa.
And you do this all by beating these levels of Candy Crush. It's like Candy Crush.
Oh, okay.
You're combining things and blowing them. There's something psychologically satisfying about that.
Yes.
Yeah. And the phone vibrates when you explode things.
Oh, wow.
How do they do that? I don't know.
It's a dopamine like little rush.
Oh,
that you
yeah,
get
dude.
to.
It feels so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. And I finally got myself off it. I said, F it, man. I stopped. I disengaged from the game. I left it. Then I came back 3 months later. I had to start all over again because my game got wiped out.
Oh, that sucks.
So I thought maybe that's what you were doing, but
no, but I will next time.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
what I was
do it.
doing,
She was texting Alex. What were we texting Alex?
because the clock went off, so I have no idea how long we're going for, and like you know what I'm saying. I just didn't.
question fun, but I understand what you're
No.
saying.
I just I don't.
I'm joking.
I know, but I don't know how to answer it. I don't have a good comeback.
That's the best improv. We do a lot of.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of improv. Yeah.
That's the best one.
We do no and.
Yeah, no and. Or yesterday was no, or was no. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't believe it, or I don't know how to. I don't know how to respond
That's
to
the one,
that.
yeah.
Is a good one.
Yeah, I don't know how to respond to that. Yeah.
All right. Oh, your favorite one is. Hold on a second.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
I gotta-
Hold on a second.
I'm trying to-
Let me think
Let me
about
think
my
about
response.
it. Yeah.
It's real life improv.
Right.
Because it's not all going to wrap up in yes and. It's just, we go for real.
Yeah, it could be something like, you know what? I just remembered that I have to make a call.
Yes, it's perfect.
Hold on. Can I get a menu? You can do that.
I like that
That's
one.
the best one so far.
Can I get a menu?
I like that because it takes them.
Welcome to the pet shop. Can I get a menu?
Yeah.
Can I get a menu? Look at the pet shop. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, see?
Well, he eats the little kibble. Thank you and good night. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I've learned a lot.
You did?
too.
Yeah.
I
There's a lot of
seriously
stuff.
have, man. I'm going to tell Jackie.
Tell Jackie.
What is it called again?
Your biome?
Biome.
Your gut biome?
She'll go, see?
Yep.
You know, I told you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You will not believe what we were talking about.
Is she on Instagram?
She's on. No, she doesn't do that
What?
stuff very well. Jackie is a lover of animals. She has a moose who's a bearded dragon. She takes pictures of cranes. I said, why don't you go and put that stuff on Instagram?
Yeah.
Really? I go, yeah. Well, okay. And then she never does it. You know, she used to be in TV news and radio news. We met at when she was doing radio news, but she was an anchor in Miami and Tampa TV. and then just decided, F all of that. I'll just be a mom. She became a mom. But her real thing are animals. I said, you should have been a veterinarian. She goes, yep, you're right. I said, how did you get into television news? I have no idea. I said, you should have been a veterinarian. She loves animals. She takes pictures of cranes. She was playing with Moose. This is a bearded dragon. It's almost like her pet dog. Yeah.
What's a bearded dragon?
A bearded dragon is a long lizard, and his underneath gets dark if he needs to take a shit or if he's hungry. Wow. They're beautiful little creatures, and they're loving.
Sounds like
and they're almost sentient. They'll sit there and stay with you. And we lost Kirby. Kirby was her Irish Terrier, 18 years old. We lost him like 3 years ago. So, and it just busted her up. And, but Moose, the bearded dragon, has been her friend ever since, you know.
Wow.
That's so cool.
But I got to tell her about this, because she'll say, you know, you're an idiot again, Henry. Don't listen to me. You listen to people on the podcast, but not me.
Yeah. Save it for one of those moments when you have to, when she can be like, see, I was right.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, by the way, 3 weeks ago we were talking about biome. Remember that?
Yeah,
See, I was right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
This is all making me ironically hungry for sushi.
I know, and I was thinking about that too. Yeah. Well, maybe we should wrap up.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea how long we've been going. How long?
Alex,
is that right? You did? Oh, because he texted you.
Alex is
Let's see. Oh, we just hit the hour. Oh, perfect. See, I had a sense of it. I have an internal clock. So I can wake up in the middle of the night and pretty much tell what time it is.
No kidding.
Like to the minute.
I can't.
I don't know how I do it.
You also don't really sleep.
That's true.
But
I'm so messed up. It looks like it's going light out. I'll go, it's getting light out. 1 a.m. I guess it isn't getting light. What is all that light I see? Oh, I get it. It's the neon from the bar down the street that's lighting up the freaking fog. You know,
it's not the sunrise.
It's not the sunrise. The fog is being lit up by neon from a, gas station.
You live near the beach too. That's so cool.
I live about a block and a half from the sand, called Channel Islands Beach. It's the last affordable beach in Southern California, I think. Yeah, it's like a working class beach. There's like fishermen that live there.
Awesome.
Ventura is like one of the last places that you can actually like real, buy something.
It's real surf country, and that's the end of that comment. No, I don't know, man. Yeah. So I got out to walk the sand, and it's turned out to be quite a benefit. But I'm all out of things to say.
Okay, perfect. All right, this is a great time to wrap it up. Phil, thank you so much
Nikki,
for
this
being
is a blast,
here.
Man, thank you for inviting me.
Oh my God,
so much fun. So much
thanks,
fun,
brother. It's great to meet you, Sandra.
Yeah, man, pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Do you have like you have a specific social media?
Phil Hendrie Show. PhilHendrieShow.com is my where all my radio show and my digital content is archived there. And we're at Phil Hendrie Fans, Facebook /Phil Hendrie Fans. I spelled it PHANS to my everlasting regret. Because people go, it's Phil Hendrie Fans, right? Yeah, but it's spelled PHANS. Never mind. Yeah. I love that. I love Instagram. X is weird, so don't go there. I locked my account.
I don't know.
There.
You say a lot of cool stuff on X.
Do I?
Yes.
But I locked my account. So
you
people,
did?
Yeah, I locked it so that you can't go see anything.
Yeah.
Maybe I should unlock it.
Yeah.
The last thing I said on X that I thought was kind of cool, I said that I wish that the movie The Birds would come true. I don't know why I said that. Yeah. I don't know why I said that. Wouldn't it be great if that movie came true?
Oh, you're saying X, like Twitter. I'm talking about what's the other one on Instagram? There's a secondary thing.
Oh, Threads?
Threads. Yeah, is fun. That's where you say
Threads
things.
Is fun. I post things there. But mostly Facebook and Instagram. I'm on, and TikTok, which is the goofiest thing. I got 70,000 views on one video. And so far, I've got 0 views on another video.
That's so.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
What is that algorithm? So
they want to make us try to figure out computers, and I'm not part computer. I don't have that part of me that wants to do that. But I'm fascinated by how they work. I just don't.
Social media is and I hate to say this, but it's just to promote and market for me. I got nothing against other people. I personally don't like it for what it's used for.
Yeah.
But
sometimes
we have to do it though. Unfortunately, I need to pay somebody to do it.
It's a good marketing tool. Yeah. For sure.
Do you do everything yourself?
I do. And
good for you.
Shouldn't.
No, you do a good job. You're always out there. So.
On Facebook, I do my fan page is all strictly show related stuff. you know, like I had a picture of myself asleep. In fact, I was referencing this. I had a picture of myself asleep on an airplane back in 1987. I was 35. I was flying back from London because we'd gone to London 3 times for KLSX radio. I was an album rock jock at the time.
97.1.
97.1, and we were classic rock. We went back for the Beatles' 20th anniversary of Sgt. Pepper, which was a lot of fun. We broadcast from Abbey Road Studios. But I said, you're looking at an unhappy man. I was 35, and I was very unhappy. I wasn't proud of the work I was doing. I was, in fact, I was embarrassed by it, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to. I remember in those days thinking, if only I could just start my career all over again. And I said, and that's where I said, and then I just stopped, and I said I would be fired 2 more times after this job until I decided to just forget about making people happy. Have fun, Phil. What's your instinct? And that's when my career started to take off. You know,
that makes sense.
I got more comments on that picture because of that. You know, wow. And some people saying you were better then, but thank you.
Unfollow, block. Maybe that's
so cool though, because you follow what you want to do and what makes you happy, and it made so many other people happy to be able to be part. To listen to that.
I'm really happy about that. Yeah, and I don't mean to be glib, but one guy said to me, my wife was in a coma, and the first time she laughed was when she heard something on your show, and for some reason that busted me up. I just started to laugh, and he was like, "Why are you laughing at that?" Nothing. Somebody in a coma.
Comas are funny.
But the thing is, you got to be respectful. Follow your heart. Do what you know is right. Do your show. Don't let anybody air check you and tell you that's not funny, this isn't funny. But always be respectful. They say that your show sucks. I'm sorry you don't like it. I'll move on to the next gig.
Yeah.
And don't ever burn any bridges, bro. You know, always be respectful of people, because there's so many assholes out there. In the entertainment business, you guys know.
And you never know who's going to come up. It could be the janitor. It could be the president of ABC tomorrow.
Absolute truth, yeah. So be cool to everybody. But just stand your ground. Say, this is what I do. I'm sorry you don't like it, but, you know, what can I tell you?
Yeah, next.
Next job.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you do what you do.
Oh, thanks.
And I really seriously, I'm so glad that you walked 100 blocks to get here today.
And I feel better. You know, it took me about an hour to come around. You know? When I got here, I was like
smelling
this.
salts. Yeah.
Yeah. You give me a minute, I'll be ready to go. Anything, potato chips.
We had to prop them up with protein bars.
Right. They gave me protein bars, the protein shake. They gave me 2 things of water, an IV. I was on fluids for half an hour. Wow.
Sparkling water IV was good though.
Seeing you come down the street, man, was like, thank God.
With a thimble full of water for you.
Like Lawrence of Arabia. So anyway.
Satchel.
Yeah, the satchel of water.
All right. Well, you guys, this will come out. This is actually going to come out probably tomorrow, because I have none in the bank right now. Because
God, sorry,
we're not sponsored by banks, so we need to.
What
do you have anything in the
I
bank
just don't have. I just used them all up because So we're on tomorrow, but every Wednesday at 3 a.m. I don't know why, but
That's pretty cool.
It sounds like a good idea. Maybe someone in New York wakes up at 6.
Nikki Davis rollout party every Wednesday at
3 a.m. Yeah, I'll be asleep.
Everybody up! It's time for That's the name of your new show on TV. Everybody up! It's time for Nikki.
Oh, I like that.
And you have a guy going. I love that.
He's got to get up 2 hours earlier than everybody else.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he's got to warm up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my God, you're ridiculous.
All right,
everybody up! It's time for Nikki. It's the Nikki Davis show. I think it's gold, man.
Nikki's still sleeping.
That's
And then they flash on. Yeah, you're. Oh hi.
Oh man,
beautiful.
We're trying to end this thing, folks, and we can't.
It's really hard. I will. I have
too many good riffs.
I know.
Yes.
Well, we'll continue this at the sushi place.
Yeah.
I have to take a pee. So
really?
yeah.
All good.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. Please tune in next week. Like and subscribe. Hit the little button that says subscribe, and then hit the one that says to notify you when the I should have said this at the beginning, but to notify you when the episode comes out.
That's it.
Because if you didn't make it to the end, then
you
sorry.
ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, you ain't gonna make it.
You're not gonna make it.
Don't remember, I got valley fever. God, that's funny.
He's going to be in Sherman Oaks for his next gig. Okay. Thanks so much. And you guys have a great day. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Let's record this.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Let's roll. That was so much fun.